Hello YouTube, and welcome to this full day of eating. In this video, I'm going to go through everything that I consume in a typical day of my bulk. I'm going to show you the foods, I'm going to explain to you my choices and my strategies to keep putting on weight and keep putting on muscle. You'll notice that this is the first time I ever actually put out a full day of eating, and it's because I've always found it quite boring. And I know that it is super popular on YouTube Fitness for some reason, but I've always also disliked the vlog format. The reason why I changed my mind on this is because I think that the way I bulk is quite opposed to the typical bodybuilding way of doing the thing. And I think it could be quite interesting for you guys to see that there are many ways to approach putting on mass, and you are not forced to eat 15 times a day or eat foods that you dislike. So that is going to be my plan today. I want to give you another option, something that the average person will have a much easier time following, because I've always found bulking very easy and diet in itself very easy as long as you don't complicate it for no reason. So we're going to go to the kitchen table and we're going to go meal by meal, starting with breakfast. All right, so breakfast time. I woke up 2 hours ago. Breakfast for me is the most important meal of the day, not because it's the first one or for nutrition or whatever, it's psychologically. It's the meal that I enjoy the most, it's the one that I look forward the most, and so I always make sure I eat things that I like, and it's something that I do throughout my day regardless. So when I was a kid growing up, breakfast was always sugary stuff. It was always cereals, it was always pastry. So as an adult, I keep up that habit because it makes me happy. I think there's no problem with that. It would be a mistake, I think, to become too extreme and to banish every single sugary food from your diet just because sugar bad. Yes, sugar bad in excess, but you can still consume some of it. So the way I do it personally is I eat some croissants. I think you guys are not going to be surprised by this. Beyond the meme, I also do enjoy these pastries a lot. There's no added sugar. And then I'm going to dip them in something. So today I have some peanut butter. I'm just going to dip them in there directly. I like some jam, some blueberry jam. I stay away from things that are a bit too over the top, like Nutella, for example. I mean, it's just so many things together that are questionable, like palm oil and like purely refined sugar, that I think you're better off staying away from it. If you want sugary stuff, you can find options that include fruits, for example, and I think it would be much healthier for you. On top of that, I don't know how you guys navigate sugar. If something is too sweet, I can't eat it. It's something that I call the banana test. If you take a banana and you eat it, and it doesn't taste super sweet to you, then most likely your taste buds have been ruined by modern products, because a banana is already supposed to be like over the top sweet for a normal person. So that's how I like my breakfast. Then I have my beverage. I don't drink coffee. I'm French, but I don't drink coffee. I don't like coffee. I don't like stimulants. I think it's a slippery slope of having to then resort to coffee to be able to get your day going. I do not like this. So what I drink personally in the morning is oat milk. I would drink cow milk if I could, but dairy products make me sick. They're bad for me, so I avoid them. I like plant milks better, and oat milk is the best in my opinion. And I mix it with 1 scoop of whey protein. I only have 1 scoop a day. I used to be the type of person that would get scoops upon scoops upon scoops throughout the day because I thought it was needed. If you end up requiring so much whey protein to be able to get your daily needs of protein, most likely the rest of your diet is garbage. That is a rule of thumb. If your diet is 50% supplements, 50% real food, you're doing something wrong. This is not the way you should be going about it. So this is my 1 scoop. I also put collagen in it for tendon health. And I also find that it goes beautifully well with oat milk for some reason. Whey protein by itself in oat milk tends to not mix very well, but if you add collagen, it helps with what we call a miscibilité in French. So this is my breakfast. 4 pastries. I don't really count. You'll see at some point that I simply don't count. And that most of what I'm going to consume throughout the day and in my life in general is carbs. I'm a big carbs guy. So we start with these 4 guys. I'm very excited to eat. My last meal was yesterday at 9. So it's a form of fasting, I guess. It's not something that I want to do. It's just that I sleep, then I wake up. I have my professional things that I have to take care of because it takes priority throughout the day. And whenever I have a downtime, it is when I have my breakfast. So not right now, I didn't tell you, but right now it's 10:30 a.m. So it's quite late in the day. I've already been awake for a few hours. But this is how my day starts. This is how I start my day when it comes to eating. Now, another thing to add, because you won't see it in the video, but I think it's very important, is hydration. I drink throughout the day, of course, but I only drink water. I don't drink coffee, again, I don't drink Coke or sodas, only water. Water, oat milk, and sometimes orange juice. I personally like this approach better. I think it is healthier, your body requires water. If I want something that is going to taste a bit different because water has no taste, I will just put some lemon in the water, but that is it. You'll see that I eat decently clean. I don't need or want to eat clean. It's just that this is the diet and these are the foods that make the most sense for me. So that is that. I'm going to devour this breakfast and then I will meet you guys up again for my next meal of the day, which is going to be a first snack, a pre-lunch snack at noon. See you there. Alright, time for meal number 2. Technically this is a snack because I only have 2 big meals throughout the day. I like to keep my portions small, and that's for a very simple reason. If you eat only massive meals, you'll find that your appetite is going to die early on. But if you're trying to bulk and you're full by the time it's 11 a.m., your bulk is fucked. You'll never be able to take in enough calories. So the hack is to split the portions. Many young men, hard gainers, make that mistake. They think, eat big, get big. But they eat so much at once that after that, the rest of the day, they spend full. You don't want to do that. Split your food. So here I have 1 kind of sardines and I have 2 pieces of naan. It's going to go down like this, and I'm still going to be slightly hungry afterwards, which means that the next meal is going to be devoured just as fast. And that way, the only meal that will really get me full will be the one I get before bed. That way, I don't get bothered by hunger throughout my sleep. What do I eat? This is my favorite snack if I want proteins. So as I said, I'll grab some fish. I love tuna or sardines. I usually go for sardines because they have more flavor, and I mix them with garlic. I use a lot of garlic. In this bowl right there, there is the equivalent of 4 of these, so 4 cloves of garlic. This is a lot of garlic. If you're not prepared and you put that much in your food, you will puke it out. I made a video about how to use garlic for bodybuilding. It's in the description. Please watch it before you make that mistake. I don't want to be responsible for you puking all over your kitchen table. Talking about puke, if you look at this, it also does look like cat puke a bit, but I guarantee you it's delicious. I also add some salsa to it to add some spice and some kick. And then what I do is I just take my piece of naan, I dunk it into it and I eat it. Once again, carbs are a big part of my meals. Even though this is sardines for proteins with a lot of minerals and vitamins, I always add some source of carbohydrates because this is how I like to bulk. And this is how my bulking profile and my diet profile looks like. Super high carbs, moderate protein. I really don't eat that much protein at all because I think it's not needed. And then moderately low fats. This is what works best for me. You might not be like this. You might be the type of person that likes moderate carbs, high protein, moderate fats. All of that you have to figure out for yourself. No YouTuber will be able to tell you, yeah, this is what works. It's trial and error. In the past, I used to run a very high fat, high protein diet with medium to low carbs, and it was catastrophical. My body did not respond well to this. My body loves carbs. So this is why I feed it. I said previously during breakfast that I don't drink milk. The only two things I do not eat in my diet are dairy products and red meat. Not because these are bad foods, some people will thrive off of it, but my personal genetic makeup disallows me from eating these foods. They make me bloated, they make me feel sick. So I stay away from them entirely, and so should you. If you're the type of person that experiences pain, bloating, or some sort of weird side effects from dairy products, don't consume it just because apparently milk gets you big. Every single food source gets you big. It's what I want to convey in this video. Eat the food that agree with you, not the ones that people tell you are needed or important, because at the end of the day, there is no such thing as a food that must be consumed. And that is going to be that, I think, for this portion. I'm also very excited to eat this. So I'm going to go and just wolf that down, and we will see each other again for my proper lunch, which should be in 2 hours. See you there. And since I spoke about garlic, I also have a piece of advice for you guys. If you're bothered by the bad breath, a hack I found is that if you consume some cloves, I think that's the name in English, some cloves, after you eat your garlic, it's going to completely get rid of the bad breath. So what you do is you take like 5 or 6 and you put them in your mouth and you just suck on them for like 10 minutes. Don't swallow them whole. You can bite them a bit to release the active components of cloves, which are also very beneficial for liver function and also for regulation of blood sugar, which after a meal that contains carbs is a good idea. And that is going to be that double whammy effect. You're going to now have a fresh breath, which is always nice. And on top of that, you will also get the benefits that come with the cloves. So that way you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I think that's the way to say it. Yeah, I'm not completely awake yet, even though it's already noon. So let us meet together once again for my lunch. All right, time for lunch. So as you can see, this is ratatouille. I don't know if you guys can see it properly with this angle, so without burning my little paws, but that's what it looks like. Of course, it is homemade. I have a quirk, I guess, something that I think most people should follow. I try to cook everything that I eat. There are certain things that are manufactured by other people, like the pastry, because je suis pas boulanger, but the rest I make myself. So this ratatouille is one of my favorite recipes. Easy way to get your veggies in. Just because you're bulking does not mean you should not eat veggies. And on top of that, you'll find that eating stuff like rice by itself can become quite boring. But if you just mix it with ratatouille, it becomes delicious and it goes down like this. So for this meal, for this lunch, it's 2:30 p.m. right now, I'm having ratatouille mixed with white rice and chicken. White rice is my go-to carbs. It is so easy for me to digest. It keeps me full throughout the workout, so I eat a lot of it, but I have to find ways to not get it boring. I add chicken for the protein, but only a few pieces. It's something you might have noticed in my diet. I don't eat too much animal products. I like to follow a moderate approach. I'm not vegan and I'm not vegetarian. It's just that I personally find that I perform better, I grow better, and I'm healthier when I eat mainly vegetables and carbs. And at this point, you might also have noticed that I never told you about the calories or the macronutrient profile of each meal. And that's for a simple reason, I don't know. Because I don't count, I don't track anything. When I'm bulking, I follow my appetite and I follow my instinct. The reason why I like to do it this way is because I already tend to obsess and hyper-focus on parameters of my training to the point that it can become a hindrance in my day-to-day life. It's a stressor. So if I can take a step back and be more relaxed with an aspect of the training that I can handle via instinct, like the bulk, for example, then I do it. This does not mean that tracking calories is bad. It's just that if you're like me and you have neurotic tendencies, it might aggravate these tendencies. But if you're someone who is fine with weighing everything and you like it better, do it, because at the end of the day, it is the easiest way to know if you're going to be putting on weight or not. So since I don't have that crutch, how do I know if the bulk is working? Well, the first thing is, of course, the scale. I weigh myself, but in the same line, I don't wake myself every single day. That's a recipe for disaster for my mental health. So what I do instead is I wake myself every month to every 2 to 3 weeks, and then I like to look at my body. Is my body looking full? Am I full? Do I feel good? These are the things that matter to me. And I know that these are not strict scientific parameters, but it's working. I also, of course, track progression, and that is number one. You bulk for one reason and one reason only, it's to be more performant in the gym, to grow in the gym, and to do more volume. If your training doesn't increase as you increase your calorie intake, you are not going to grow muscle. It's not going to work. The training dictates the diet. So I also look at my progression. Am I putting weight on the bar? Do I get PRs, rep PRs, more sets, more volume, etc.? In my current case, the answer is yes. So I know I am on the right path. Please also note that this strategy might also only be possible because I have a slow metabolism, meaning that I really don't eat that many calories in a day, so a very small increase is enough to put me in a sizable caloric surplus, which allows for very easy gains. If you're the type of person who struggles to eat and struggles to gain weight, this might not actually work for you. Now I'm going to leave you because this ratatouille is calling for my attention, and I'm going to meet you guys again for the fourth meal of the day, which will be my pre-workout meal. All right, time for meal number 4. This is my pre-workout meal, the last amount of food I will be consuming before I lift weights. The idea is to eat just enough to not be hungry throughout the session, but not so much that it sits on my stomach and a bunch of blood has to be sent in the area to take care of digestion. I already ate enough throughout the day so that most of my calories are taken care of. This is just a snack. So I'm having some cashew cereals. This is my favorite type of cereals. It's the one that I digest the best. The taste is absolutely delicious, and it's also full of protein. And then I also like applesauce. Applesauce also without added sugar. There's already sugar in apples. If you can make your own applesauce, I recommend you do. It is extremely easy. The idea behind the meal is that this is going to give me that little kick and that little bit amount of juice so that I can really push hard. Usually, if I'm still a bit hungry at this point, I will also add some croissants or pastries that I will dunk in the applesauce, but I ate enough throughout the day. I'm actually not hungry at all. This is the first meal of the day where I don't really want to eat that food, but because it's delicious and sugary, it's going to go down extremely easy. I call it a pre-workout meal because this is the only pre-workout I take. I do not take stimulants. I do not like the idea of having to be amped up to go to the gym. For me, the gym is part of my schedule and it's the time of the day I like the most. Why would I need to be amped up on stimulants to enjoy it? It makes no sense. Something I want to point out also is that you might have noticed that I only eat delicious things. All things that you rarely see bodybuilders eat. There's no stewed chicken, there's no broccoli with no spices or salt, because all of that is not needed. You don't need to sacrifice taste. You don't need to eat things that are bland to be able to grow. All of that is theatrics for the most part. You should enjoy your food. Think about it this way. Why would you take an aspect of life that is pleasurable, like eating, that we all look forward to, and completely sacrifice it for the sake of being big? The only thing you're going to do is you're going to develop some eating disorders and you're going to be miserable for no reason, because as a natural lifter, you can and you should eat delicious things. As long as you prepare them yourselves, chances are they're going to be just as healthy as if you ate things that look like cardboard and worse, taste like cardboard. So if you take anything out of this video, it is this. Diet is something that you have to figure out for yourself, and it's also something that needs to align with what you enjoy. In your program, you're going to put lifts and exercises that you like doing, right? I hope you're doing that. Do the same for your diet. There's so many groups and foods out there that you will be able to find what you like. Now, I'm going to eat that down and then I'm going to go train hard. I'm excited. Today is an upper body day. I'm going to do pullovers. I'm going to be doing, I think, some foam isolation. It's going to be great. And I will meet you after my session for the last meal of the day.
All right, so I just got done with the workout. I did 7 exercises. I'm absolutely exhausted, but this is a good opportunity for me to do a physique check, physique update. So I'm at 215, 6 feet right now, so the bulk is going extremely well. I'm very happy because I've managed to preserve a lot of my abdominal development, as you can tell. This is not something that you need to obsess over. This is not the point of a bulk. It's not to keep your abs. You need to let it go a bit, get a bit blurry, but I also noticed that many people go too far. It's nice to keep an eye on your waistline because if it increases too much, it's a sign that you're putting on a ton of visceral fat, and it might also be the proof that your bulk is going astray. You're not putting on muscle anymore, you're just getting fat, and that's not a good idea. So if you can preserve a semblance of shreds, that is always something that is going to help you feel better about yourself and also know that you're on the right track. As for myself, the arms are growing, the neck is growing, everything is going where it should be. The arm, of course, is always bicep dominant. The tricep is lagging forward. It's not exactly where I would want it to be, but they have grown, and so did the shoulders. The shoulders don't look as puny as they used to be. Of course, they're still struggling to catch up with that bicep, but that is also the way my physique looks, and I don't think it's ever going to change, which is fine by me. So I'm going to keep grinding, keep eating, and keep training super, super hard. And actually, talking about eating, it is time for me to finally take my last meal and then rest and go to bed. So I'll see you in the kitchen. All right, and here we are in the kitchen with, of course, the carrot frame. You can never forget the carrot frame. It's very important if you're on a bulk. So my last meal, if I can show you without dropping everything, because I'm a complete fucking idiot, is this. So this is pasta with some turkey meat in there and some tomato sauce. I'm so tired. I'm going to eat this and I'm going to watch some anime, relax with my family on the couch, and then I'm gonna go to bed. So that is that. It's a lot of carbs, it's a lot of proteins. After a big workout, it's very important. And that is going to conclude the day. I'm going to make myself a cucumber salad. It's important to have your veggies as well. I love vegetables and salads too, so why not eat it? And sometimes I have a little cheeky sneak meal before bed, like a banana or an apple or some cereals. Tonight, I'm certain I will not have that. I just want to go to bed. I'm way too tired. So that is that for this full day of eating. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know. It's a new format on the channel. If you like it, I could make some more because my diet is extremely flexible and varied. Very important for me. To not eat the same thing every day because I have a tendency to eat like a dog, and that's fine, but it reinforces my neurotic traits. So I try to be more flexible with my approach to what I eat, just like I do with my training. The way my training has evolved is the way my diet has evolved. I used to train with the same exercises and eat the same food. Now I understand that being too rigid is bad because it can create, again, a form of structure madness. And when the structure breaks, well, now you are fucked and you're shit out of luck. So if there are things that you must remember from this video, it is that one, consistency is absolutely key on a bulk. If your caloric surplus is not consistent, your bulk will fail. So you have to make sure that you eat every single day. And how do you do that? By eating things that you like. It's super easy to stay consistent and to bulk consistently when the foods that you eat, you love. So please do that. Do not eat things that you don't like. Just like with doing exercise you don't like, you will not stick to them. That is number one. This is very important, especially if you follow my approach, which is instinctive and slow. Good fucking luck trying to gain a pound a month. If you're not consistent, it's simply not going to work. Then you also have to experiment with your diet. Do not let anyone tell you that this food is bad and this is bad and this is the approach. High protein, high carbs. Try things. Your body will respond. Your body is going to show you exactly what works. I have found what works for me. It's high carbs. For you, it might be something else. And that is that. Also, always remember that the training is more important than your diet. Some people say you cannot outtrain a bad diet. Yeah, that's true. That is true if you're trying to lose weight. But guess what? You can eat as much food as you want. If you don't put in the time in the gym, you will never get jacked. So always prioritize your training. And that is that for this video. If you enjoyed it, consider supporting the channel on my Ko-fi page. It's the first link in the description. And I will be seeing you guys very soon.